On Friday, January 21st, 2022, our most beloved Supreme Master Ching, while still in her intensive retreat for the sake of the world, called some of the Supreme Master television team members to read a story from a treasury of Jewish folklore compiled by Nguyen, as Master graciously elaborated on the moral lessons of the story. She further shared her wisdom on karma, the ego, and how we humans should protect ourselves through our innate God power.
The title says something like, whatever you do is all for yourself. It's always for yourself. Meaning, you're not working for anyone else, even if you say you work for the world or whatever. I have always told you that.
Yes,
Master.
Because you gain merit or you gain bad karma out of whatever you do.
Yes.
So whatever you do is all for yourself, bad or good. So better do good.
Yes, Master.
It's similar to the karma law that the Buddha was always preaching when he was alive, and we still can read nowadays, thanks to all his great disciples who recorded them. Thanks to Anand, especially, respectful Reverend Anand. In Buddhism, we heard all these similar types of things that we speak of the law of karma.
Yes.
So like in the Bible, it is said that whatever you sow, so shall you reap. It's similar in all religions. And this universal law never fails.
Yes,
Except when there's a living master to rescue you, you can run around in this cycle, this circle of karma forever. Even if you do good, you will just be reborn and reap the good things, good outcomes of that,
Right.
good retributions. And if you do bad, you reap it badly. And it's multiplied.
Yes.
Multiply karma, not just if you give somebody poison and you'll be poisoned back one time. No, many times over. Because of interest,
Yes.
the law of interest as well. Just like you put money in the bank, you have interest.
Yes.
So humans are their own enemy. If they don't humble themselves enough or don't open their hearts enough to listen to logic and reason, then they're doomed to fall.
Yes, Master.
Sooner or later.
Yes.
If they don't fall physically, or they don't fall in their business, in their position, then they will fall spiritually, morally.
Yes, Master.
And this is a very dangerous fall. The worst of all is falling morally and spiritually.
Yes.
And if you fall spiritually, of course you will fall morally as well.
Yes,
And if you fall morally, of course you fall also spiritually.
Yes.
So you see the world is upside down, hey?
Yes, Master.
People's egos are as big as mountains, as wide as oceans. They're difficult to conquer themselves, not to talk about somebody else trying to conquer them. Not like snatching things from them or their possessions. To convince them is very difficult to follow the truth so that they can rescue themselves with the help of heavens and master powers and God's grace and blessing, of course. It's so difficult just because they follow their ego. You can see that.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, that's why I keep telling the humans that they should be humble, grateful, and have benevolence for others, like for the animal people. Then they will be saved. Their lives will be saved, and their soul will be saved as well. But how many people listen, I wonder? Concerning the ego, it's just very dangerous, actually. It's not just normal. Because sometimes it's right. But if your ego, is too big, and then you don't do it, then you could even harm yourself in different situations, different levels, or different ways. Many people, because of that, they lost their lives. Just like Canaan, the son of Noah, even though he knows that it's safer to go up to the boat that Noah has built, he did not, just because he so habitually always went against his father, always argued with him, always didn't want to subdue his ego to listen to his father. So it even became a habit. So even in such a life and death situation, he would not give in.
Yes,
He didn't want to lose. So many masters, they know it's almost hopeless and useless, but they still do their best because they know that's the best they can give.
Yes, that's true.
Because if you give somebody money or food or house or anything, these things sometimes don't last. The house could kaput, be damaged by fire or flood or storm. Anything could destroy it, yeah?
Yes, that's right.
The money, they could lose it.
Yes.
Or they could buy some bad things or wrong food and then poison themselves and die. And it won't last forever. But wise advice, sage advice, lasts forever. If they can digest it, of course, if they can understand it. But as usual, wise advice is ignored.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, and that's how the world became what it is. Many wise, compassionate masters came and went. And humans are still at this stage.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
So, of course, all the leaders don't tell their citizens to eat vegan because they don't want to listen to the scientists and an old woman like me. Maybe it hurts their feelings, hurts their ego.
Yes, Master.
Me, the president, the prime minister, I listen to this woman. How is it possible? And the more materially or technically developed, the more humans become arrogant and more ignorant inside their own tiny little world. They don't use the advantage for their own development. They just use it like nowadays we have high tech like internet and everything. They just use it for amusement, for small pleasure or selfish purposes. They don't use it to search for something larger than life. That's why they're losing their lives. Many are losing now.
Yes, Master.
And will continue losing. Many new variants are emerging. You know that, right?
Yes, Master.
So I just read the news, and it's terrible. And many other, strange stuff like they just found a superbug for the first time in America.
Oh.
All antibiotics mean nothing to him. So it's the end of antibiotics.
Oh.
Yeah, unless they find something new. I don't know yet. But at the moment, these superbugs resist all antibiotics. Nothing can hurt him.
Wow.
I'm telling you, humans are forever relying on material things or tech or science, but they don't know there's something beyond science,
Yes.
Yes.
super science, that nobody can catch up with. So people in this world, they just run after material comfort or richness or fame or even rely on weapons or atom bombs they develop to keep themselves safe. No, these things are not guaranteed at all.
Yes, Master.
And now they have vaccine for the normal COVID-19, but it seems useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if they press for all these vaccines, it doesn't help much with the new variant.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
After Omicron even. And they don't even know what it is, what they are up against yet.
Yes, Master.
What kind of side effects. Omicron is already scary enough from what I know, from inside knowledge. They will not be able to find the slow but permanent side effects, okay?
Yes, I understand.
Even the normal COVID-19 before Omicron, before Delta, many people had long-term effects.
Yes.
They even lose the capability of the brain already.
Yes,
All right.
that's right.
And they have many other nightmarish side effects that make their life hell.
Yes, they feel weak and...
Yeah, weaken and turn hellish. They couldn't do anything much. They live like in languishing kind of situation,
Yes, Master.
Terrible. It's so terrible.
So COVID long haulers, what has been used to describe patients who are post the initial COVID infection and now are having significant symptoms that have lasted weeks and months past their initial infection. These are symptoms that may be very mild, but much of the time it's very severe. And this is definitely something that you do not want.
I still have long COVID. I still get, heart palpitations and shortness of breath and tingling in my hands and feet. And it'll just come out of nowhere. Like I'll be good for I don't know, a week, 10 days, and then all of a sudden I'll be hit pretty hard with it, and I had COVID 2 years ago. So, yeah, it is not just a cold.
Eduardo Rodriguez was a 19-game winner for the Red Sox last year. Just 27 years old, he was going to be a huge part of this year's team. But he tested positive for the coronavirus, and due to complications from it, his season has come to an end.
Eduardo Rodriguez is a perfect example of what can happen to patients. He's young, he's healthy, he's actually probably healthier than much of the population. But having had COVID, now he's having symptoms that are post-COVID, and this can happen to anyone in the population itself. So we're looking at many, many symptoms from various organ systems. There are many patients who are having neurological symptoms, such as weakness, they're having brain fog, they're having fatigue, they're having poor concentration. Other patients may have things like shortness of breath or difficulty with breathing when they're exercising. There are very young patients who are completely healthy before they had the COVID infection, and then after the infection, they are having these symptoms as well. The biggest example is someone who had the COVID infection, and they're remaining on oxygen many months after they've been infected. And these patients are not back to their baseline. They have a lot of difficulty trying to breathe day by day, and they are just not having any success in getting treatment for it.
And it's not only elderly patients, right? You're saying this can happen to young people.
Absolutely. It can happen to young people, people at any age, any sex, any race.
COVID itself is doing something to our brains. Conditions, for example, like stroke and brain hemorrhage were notable.
What we do know is that about a third of the people that are infected with the virus will end up experiencing long-lasting symptoms, and many of the symptoms, if not all of them, happen to be nervous system symptoms.
And what you will learn is the nervous system controls a lot in our bodies.
Mood, or memory, or anxiety, or energy level.
There is a clear link between contracting COVID and brain function issues for about 30% of patients. And how the virus is getting to the brain in the first place is likely through the nose.
We have figured out that it is likely that the virus can also access the brain by traveling through the olfactory fibers. People who have COVID and also have a stroke, there's probably a direct correlation of COVID and the blood vessels in the brain.
There was a Ching star, She caught COVID-19 on purpose.
Yes, I saw that.
And then she died.
Yes.
Even though the son and the husband had it but did not die, she died. Everyone reacts differently to the virus.
Yes, Master.
And just because your husband and your son had it and they might recover and then be over it, but you are not. Different people, different karma. Of course, they don't know. They think, okay, if the other can recover, I will also. So I just get it so it will be done with. And then I will have a
immunity,
like a passport, immunity, and then proof that I had it so that I can continue my work and no restrictions and no need anything else, no need to stop working, singing or concerts or whatever. Many concerts are closed, stopped right now.
That's correct.
Most of them because of Omicron. Oh, and it affects too many things, all the drivers and all the goods that are supposed to be imported are all just stopped somewhere,
Yes.
They don't have enough manpower, don't have enough people to even replace.
Yes.
And then also the vaccine restriction, booster, and all that. Yeah, if you don't have it, you can't work. You're not allowed to. Many jobs are like that. And then people also die of COVID. It's getting shorter and shorter. And the food supply chain is in trouble.
Yes, Master.
Because in some countries, the population is big, but they have to rely on many things, like they rely on some food from China
Yes.
or Europe. But even China cannot completely feed themselves because they have a big population.
Yes, Master.
So this is terrible. And some countries still continue to bicker with neighbors and threaten war and threaten with weapons, new weapons, new atom bombs or whatever. I think it's all so stupid and so crazy.
Yes, Master.
The war is almost like going down. They're still thinking of killing others and taking the land of some other neighbors or developing more awesome, mighty weapons or whatever, for whatever reason.
Yes, Master. They're already dying from one thing and they want to be killed by another.
To die quicker or more surely that they will die. In case they don't die of COVID, they can die by the war. Dying is not the worst thing. It's the injury. It's the getting handicapped caused by war. It's the economic collapse caused by war, okay?
Yes.
Or it's the languishing long-term effect, months or years long by COVID-19. And other more scary effects that scientists have not found out yet.
Yes, Master.
And even if they find out, it's too late to cure, or maybe can never cure. It's not like something that you can just stop. Oh my God. What a very unintelligent human race doing all this to themselves. And don't listen to wise words. They're just too arrogant. They just do all that because they can. Just because they have money, they can develop more deadly weapons. Just because they're powerful or have more population, more manpower, they can just go and threaten others. You know, like bullying in the school when they're bigger,
Yes, yes.
stronger. Oh, my God. People forget that we have other healing power within. But the healing power has to have some special ingredients. Like if we want to awaken our godly power of protection, of enlightenment, of wisdom, then we have to combine with ingredients like benevolence, like non-violence, diet and lifestyle. It doesn't work otherwise. This is very scientific. Like many ingredients of food or medicine, they have to combine many elements.
Right.
That's right.
Many materials together in order to make one pill or one injection, etc. Even vaccines, they have to combine many things.
Yes.
So without all this combination, the power of love, the power of protection, the power of God within us will not be able to emerge or be revealed. So we cannot use it. We have it, but we cannot use it.
Understand.
So it's very scientific that if you want to really protect yourself, you must rely on the God power within. And not too much of the outside. Outside things, of course, we need for the physical things, for the visible things. But some invisible things are hard to see, like virus or infection and all that. We have to use other kinds of combination. Not just the medicine, but we must rely also on the God power within. And in order to use that power, in order to awaken this power, we must combine it with benevolence and non-violent vegan lifestyle. So simple, just be vegan, and things get better. Many people turn vegan, and then their heart disease is gone, their cancer disappears, their migraine is gone, their brain trouble is gone. Many diseases are gone. Many things wrong become rectified.
That's right.
Yes, because that's the right way.
Our most humble gratefulness to benevolent masters' unwavering commitment to help save all of humanity, including the animal people who are in need of our mercy and protection. We send our sincere prayers for a soon awakened world as we turn towards a more loving and enlightened lifestyle, honoring the God power within ourselves. Wishing cherished Master the best of health and a tranquil heart, safeguarded by all heavenly beings. To enjoy the sage stories read by Supreme Master Ching Hai, whatever you do is all for yourself, and Le Voyage de Monsieur Parisian, or Mr. Parisian's Journey, and also to learn which famous actor has been a friend of Master in a previous life, please tune in to Between Master and Disciples on Monday, March 7th, 2022 for the full broadcast of this conference. Also, for your reference, please check out previous related flying news Between Master and Disciples conferences, such as Flying News, Real Compassion and Awakening is the Solution. Forsake meat for a peaceful world and a healthy planet. Between Master and Disciples, When Honesty is Lost, Signs of the Last Hour from the Hadith. Catholic priests should preach the true gospel of Lord Jesus, the true saint title. Being vegan brings out our love and benevolence. Lord Jesus Christ's glorious sacrifice for humankind.